Hello everyone, it's Sadie from the blog A Wisconsin Homestead Journey at wisconsinhomesteader.com, and today I'm taking you along as we prepare the carcass from the turkey from Thanksgiving. We do some chores, and I'm telling you a story about why I was ready, 100% ready to sell our cows. My Aunt Dana gave me the turkey carcass after Thanksgiving, which maybe doesn't seem like a really big gift to you, but to me it was super awesome because we were able to just add some water and cook it in our roaster, and from the bones and the meat that was left on the bone, we were able to get 6 quarts of turkey broth plus a pint and a half more. So we will have all of that to use for soups and gravies and just a nice base for a lot of different winter meals, and we are super excited and thankful for it. And now comes the process of picking through and getting meat and making sure we don't get any little bones in it so we can save the meat for other things. For a lot of this, it's pretty easy. You can just see that there's no little bones here, but you have to be careful because there are little tiny bones like this one that could be really dangerous if you would eat them. Parts like these, which I think are from the neck and the spine, they have these little tiny bones that can break off, like this one, and you just have to be really careful that what you're grabbing is meat and not bone. Nobody wants to eat a bone, except maybe a dog. What's kind of cool is that this is the turkey carcass. This is the leftovers from Thanksgiving dinner. These are the things that would have gotten thrown away, more than likely, in most households. But there's still a ton of meat on this, and the broth itself is a gift too. It's just such a disservice to the animal to waste that. So I think it's really important to just get as much meat from this bird that was once a living creature who died to feed our bellies. We need to just be really grateful for it and remember it for what it is. And if we do remember it for what it is, it helps us to be grateful, and it helps us to get as much from this bird and to appreciate its life that much more. So how is it going with Sunny and August, you maybe are wondering. We're calling Sunflower Sunny. So how is it going with the whole process? Well, even the best laid plans have things that go wrong. And I think in theory, this was a really good plan. I still think it's a really good plan, and I'm happy with the choice that we made. But there are some things that we kind of didn't consider before bringing in the new calf. One of those things was how challenging and loud weaning was going to be. And another thing was not realizing that the calf, Sunny, wasn't going to empty out August yet at 1 month old. So we are now faced with having to either milk after Sunny eats. We either go milk, or we have to bring the big calves back over and let them empty out August. Both of them have negatives, both of them have positives. We do it about 50-50. Half the time we milk, half the time we bring the other calf over. It's not our plan to have to milk 2 times a day. That's never been our plan. So we don't really want to be milking right after the calf eats. We want to be able to just only milk when we want to, right? That's what the goal is. That's what our goal is anyway. That's our personal preference, is to not have to be tied down to milking. And that's why we calf share in the first place. So now we have this new issue of moving the calves back and forth again. And that's what we were trying to avoid in the first place by bringing home Sunny. So let me tell you a story time. The other morning, it's hunting season here, it's rifle season. So that means Danny is gone hunting most of the mornings. And he does a lot of the morning chores during the week so that I can get going on school with the kids, and I have my own full-time job that I'm doing. So before he goes to work, he usually does the chores with the cows. But this week it has been my job to do the cow work. And winter has brought a whole new set of obstacles for us, especially with keeping water thawed. That's a big one. So we go outside in the morning, we carry 5-gallon buckets of water down into the barn, break ice if we have to. And I decided it's just me and the girls home because Chase had gone hunting with Danny. And I decided it would be a good idea to milk that morning. Instead of bringing the calves back over, I thought that will be easier. So I sat down, little Kay next to me, and B was also in the barn helping me with Kay, and we got our milking done, and that went pretty smoothly. But then we went outside into the pasture, and we were letting August come out into the pasture, and Sunny had been locked out there. And I see Rosie, the big limousine Jersey calf, eyeing up the fence. Because we were working in with the cows, I had the fence off. And the fence actually hadn't been working very well. So the fence was off. And Rosie touches the fence with her nose and sees that it's off, pushes it down, and jumps over. And she's coming in hot towards us. Because she is not weaning well. She really likes her milk, and she's running towards us, and I have one girl on my hip and the other one's holding my hand. I said, get in the barn, run in, have them climb up over the fence. I push B up, I said, get over, and push get K over, and I turn around right as Rosie's coming into the barn, and I grab my stick and I said, get out! Ugh. Now I have a down fence. I have Rosie out with Sunny for the first time. They haven't ever been together. I'm home alone with the girls. Dee is not home to help me. The fence isn't working, so I'm worried that Rosie's going to jump over it again. And I need to get Rosie back on her side, get the fence back up, and get August back together with Sunny. So I grab a bucket of grain, I try to get Rosie over, but she is too busy beating up Sunny. She's bunting her and kicking her, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to go in there and leave the girls on the other side of the fence, knowing that Rosie could come through the fence and easily really hurt them if she did. So I just poured the grain in, and Rosie noticed and came over, which was awesome. And she was distracted with eating, so I quickly told B to watch little Kay, and B is only 4, and she did such a good job. She was so responsible. She stood outside the fence and kept Kay over by her. And I quickly got the fence up enough, checked on Sunny, she was fine, went over and let August out, and I told B to go in the house and get my phone. I was going to call Danny and tell him to come home and help me get this fence working. She comes out of the house, and my phone is already ringing, and it's Danny, and he says, "Hey, I was just wondering if you needed help with the cows this morning." And I just started bawling. I said, "Yes, there's this situation and I don't want to talk about it." It was just, this is life with animals. It's just unpredictable, and you don't know what's going to happen. And in a lot of ways, you come into situations and you just act, and it's kind of like an adrenaline, and you just do what you have to do, even though you never thought that you would be able to do those things. It's just, you just do it, you do things you never thought you could do just because they have to be done. They have to be done, or you're going to have even more problems. So D came home, he fixed the fence. The electric fence is working again. All is well. While he was fixing the fence, though, Rosie did try to jump the fence again, and that got her locked up in the barn. So if anyone's looking for a limousine Jersey cross cow, I am totally 100% happy to trade her in for a Hereford. I actually said, we're going to send Rosie to the butcher. I cannot stand this anymore. And poor little B, that was her calf from the start, and she just was crying and didn't want her to go to the butcher. And you just don't see these things coming, you just don't see these things coming. And on days like that, I was like, I am so ready to sell these cows. Why are we doing this to ourselves? And Dee has this running joke that I could just go to the grocery store cow and get milk anytime. And in those moments when things are all seemingly going wrong and everything's challenging and difficult, and you just wonder, why am I doing this to myself? You just need to take a step back and really do evaluate your sanity, because at some points I don't know if I have all my sanity. But after a few days had passed, I was totally fine again with the animals. I remember all the things that we're happy about with them, all the things that they're good for, and how proud I am of being able to produce food for our family from our own home. So ultimately, we are going to keep our cows, but it is a journey, and it is stressful at times, and it is challenging at times. And if you are someone who's starting up a homestead and you're finding that there are things that are stressful and difficult and hard, don't be discouraged. Don't feel like that's only happening to you. Things go wrong on homesteads, on farms, every single day. And it's important that we come together as a community to talk about them and support each other through them, because if we don't, it can be really depressing and discouraging. But we need to encourage one another and just remind each other that, yeah, these things happen, and it's okay.